What's up, guys? Keyshawn Uche here, back at you with another new Ultimate Universe What If. And this is going to be an 18X. Now, this is going to be an idea by a fan, and his name is We999. Shouts out to you, and may God have mercy on your sword, which I am God, and I will give you mercy for giving me this idea. And you asked for this, so if anyone wants to, say who did this idea, that who asked for this, who told me, like, who asked for me to do this, that's him. All right, but no one hates him, no one gives him away or anything, no one smite him, all right, or crucify him. But this will be, whoop, my bad, but this will be part one of what if Deku was a motherfucking Doom Slayer. Now, he's not going to be any type of Doom Slayer. There's multiple type of Doom Slayers. And I know what y'all saying. There's not no multiple types of Doomslayers. Yes, there's two different types of Doomslayers, but you got the old original classic Doomslayer, which, regular Doomslayer, guy with no name, going to slay demons and then went to Earth and then his rabbit got killed. We're not going to do that one, or we're not going to do this one. We're going to do the mods Doomslayer. We're going to do those Doomslayers, because the mod Doomslayers, they have mods. And if y'all ever played like Doom mods before on a PC and seen each different Doom Slayers and Brutal and stuff and all that stuff, we're gonna do that Doom Slayer, the Doom Slayer Brutal. All right, we're gonna do that one, and it's quite a mod. I don't understand mods that much. I mean, I do, but I don't ask for me. Oh, so what does this Brutal Doom Slayer has and stuff? He has all the same ability as Doom Slayers, but instead of having just jumping and stuff, he has a roll and a kick move mechanics, and he can aim down sights. Which the new Doom Slayer turtle can aim down sights too, but we're gonna say that Brutal Doom Slayer has different types of guns. Okay, so if you want me to put in any more extra detail, if y'all didn't get this, I will put in extra details in the comments down below. But right now, I'm going to contain the warnings. So listen carefully, children, because I'm going to only say this once. So warning, this contains sex, gore, possibly more gore, violent language that's unholy in the book, and possibly more sex. Now, if you're a Christian, you do Bible studies, you follow the religion, you believe all things is good in the world, and you like goodness, then please get the hell out the kitchen, because shit's about to get spicy. Alright? Other than that, let's get started. So, we start off with Deku being born. Now, as Deku's being born, he is born quite differently, as he been given a quirk, and this quirk is quite different from other quirks. Or you could say a mutation quirk that's a part of him. Now, this mutation quirk is quite different. This mutation quirk is called, well, we're going to say hatred. Or hatred, you could say. Anger and hatred. Now, this quirk is quite, people will say it's quite useless, but it's really not. It has its own different quality. Now, this quirk, hatred or rage, pretty much is, how can I say? I just explained it while I'm telling the story. Pretty much, Deku was born with that quirk. Now, Deku always has a face of, not happiness. You could say he makes a casual face, but when he's angry, he's like, how can I say, 0 up to 100 real quick, as he will F you up without you thinking. Now, this Deku was pretty much, constantly not have a lot of friends except for Bakugo. Because we're going to say Bakugo has a liking to Deku. Kind of as a, asshole bond of asshole butt buddies, you could say. Which Deku is kind of one. Now, Deku, as good friends with Bakugo, beats up kids with Bakugo. Regularly, because kids, say something stupid to him, or trying to, piss him off, and he regularly F's them up. And as he, gets blood on himself, or as he gets angry, he gets more stronger. As he kind of gets more stronger, each time he gets angry. As the angrier he gets, the more stronger he gets, the more blood he gets on himself, the more, strength and stamina he gets. So he has to get blood to get more strength, stamina stuff, but also he can get it by just getting angry and stuff. Now, as that happening, this is where Bakugo is pretty much, got his quirk, which Deku already has his quirk, which Bakugo says, look, Deku, I have my quirk, which Deku says, that's pretty badass. Which, Deku cursed in a young age. Which Bakugo kind of looks up to Deku and says, really? Which Deku says, yeah. Now, this is where Deku, of course, is constantly cool with Bakugo still. Because they're kind of like the badass duel, the two delinquents, the two kids who beat ass and ask questions later. Kind of, you could say. Now, this is where Deku gets a rabbit. Now, this rabbit is kind of a brown rabbit. Now, this rabbit is pretty much unique, and Deku, instantly fell in love with it as a pet. Now, Deku loves his pet rabbit. He always takes care of it and stuff, and he never let no one touches it, except for Bakugo, but that's his rabbit. Now, as that stuff is happening, Deku regularly, sorry about that, but let's continue. Pretty much, yeah, Deku has a pet rabbit. Now, as Deku is pretty much, we're gonna say pretty much is a little bit older now in Bakugo too. This is where we're gonna do the start of the anime. Kind of started. Well, yeah, the kind of started the anime. As this is where Deku is, chilling with Bakugo. They're both cool with each other, all that. And the girls have a liking to Deku because he has muscles and stuff due to the experience of fighting with people and getting blood. So he's a little bit strong, but not tip of his prime strong. Now this is where Bakugo asks Deku, would he like to go to the science museum because the scientists were working on a project and they wanted to show the people, which this is the portal to another you could say portal to another realm and stuff, to realms and all that. Now, as Deku is saying, yeah, sure, he pretty much goes home. Well, pretty much go there after school because they're not gonna take the shortcut yet. They're not gonna do that shortcut or anything like that. Now, as they're walking to the museum, they're pretty much seeing the project, seeing the scientists and stuff and all them, and seeing multiple people got around and stuff. And Deku's pretty much texting his mom saying he's going to be home in a minute. He's right now just seeing the thing, this project that the scientists did. Well, he calls them nerds, but he's a little bit nerd of himself, but he just calls them nerd. Now, this is where one of the scientists comes out, and we're gonna say it's a robot. We're gonna say it's a robot and stuff, and this robot is pretty much, from Mars. We're gonna say, no. We're gonna make it funny. Uranus. We're gonna say this robot is from Uranus, just for shits and giggles. Uranus. Now, as that happening, this robot is pretty much saying, "I welcome everybody," and it's a female robot, a female cyborg robot, and she's pretty much saying, "I welcome everybody to this museum. I mean, to this project that we're going to show you that it's a work in progress." Now, this portal can teleport you to other realms and stuff, and also to planets and stuff, which we have other like scientists at the other planet right now, Uranus and also Pluto, which Deku asks to smart question saying, "Hey, if Pluto's a fault planet, ain't it a little bit too icy for for humans to ever stay on there?" Which she's saying that's a smart question, but we have higher technology that can we're staying so we can stay there. Which Deku's saying, "Oh, okay." Which Bakugo say, I knew you was a nerd, but not that much of a nerd." Which Deku says, "Shut the hell up." Which Bakugo laughs and says, "My bad." Now, this is where, of course, as the cyborg scientist is about to show one of the portals to a realm, this is where we're going to say it kind of malfunctioned. Because, hey, if you're making a portal to a realm to teleport to, other realms and stuff into planets, you got to have it malfunction eventually. Am I right? Now, this is where, of course, the portal breaks loose and things start going crazy and people start getting sucked into the portal and stuff. Now, as people getting sucked into the portal and stuff. Well, some people. This is where Deku sees Bakugo about to get sucked in, and Deku like grabs Bakugo and throw him. We're gonna say he has the strength. It throws him to the other side so Bakugo can grab him something, and Deku gets sucked in the portal, which Bakugo says, "Midoriya," and he gets stuck in. Now, as he's getting sucked in, this is where Deku gets sucked into another. We're gonna say another planet, but this is a planet where we're gonna say Mars or Jupiter. Fuck it, Jupiter. We're gonna say he gets sucked into Jupiter. Now, I know what you're saying, Jupiter, but no one can't breathe without a spacesuit and stuff in Jupiter. Listen, hear me out. It's going to work. Now, Deku gets sucked in the portal, and we're gonna say multiple people get sucked in the same portal too. Now, but they all get teleported to something else. Now, this is where Deku gets sucked into Jupiter, and he's looking around and stuff. Now, as Deku's looking around and stuff, this is where he sees some weird creatures, and we're gonna say these are some demons that some demons that's trying to that was going in the portal, but they kept getting teleported everywhere around. So these demons are at Jupiter. So this is where Deku is not terrified, but he's a little bit getting pissed and saying, getting a little bit angry, saying, this, so I don't know why I got stuck here, but now I gotta fight some damn ugly ass demons. And this is where the demons are screaming at him, and he pretty much clench up his fist, and he's getting angrier. This is where his quirk is coming at. Now this is where one of the demons come at him, and he pretty much grabbed one of the demons' jaw, and he rips it apart, ripping the jaw apart and snapping its neck, blood squirreling everywhere. Now this is where the other demon comes and trying to scratch Deku, which it pretty much scratch him on the arm, which Deku gets even more pissed off and slams his head to the wall, and he's slamming it over and over again. This is where he smashed his head to pieces right in the wall, which Deku gets more blood, and it's pretty much, covering him, and he's absorbing the blood, and he's getting more stamina, more strength, and he's getting extra pissed off. And he's getting more and more pissed off. Now, he's trying to calm down, but this is where he hears more demons. And he's just getting extra angry. Now, this is where, before he goes, he looks around for shit, like weapons or anything, and this is where he sees a suit. Now, it's gonna be a suit like this, but instead of being, yeah, it's gonna be like this. It's gonna be a green suit like that, and he pretty much puts it on. Now, as he's putting it on, this is where he sees a synthetic symbol on the back of his helmet, and he begins to see, we're gonna say, glimpses and stuff, and seeing flying demons and stuff, and he holds his head saying, "Ah, what the hell?" But he begins to just say, whatever, and he puts on the helmet and stuff. And the suit is a little bit. He's wearing the suit. He's saying it's a little bit too big for me, and the suit ejects itself for it, like it auto eject, like accepts, like it adjusts its whole body system, and it fits Deku perfectly fine, like it's his size. Now this is where he pretty much grabs 2-barrel shotgun, grabs the pistol, put it by the side, and he pretty much grabs. We're gonna say test out the suit, and he sees he has a mini chainsaw on the side of his wrist, and he's saying, "All right," and he pretty much starts smiling and saying, "Let's get killing." Now this is where he begins to start charging, start going to look around for anyone else. Now this is where we're gonna say this is where a couple of demons is lie around and stuff, and he begins to roll into cover because demons are shooting some things at him, and he shoots at them. Now blood is splattering everywhere and stuff, and as he's going, he pretty much is, absorbing blood and stuff, and walking on the blood on the ground, and he gets blood from walking on the blood ground too, and he absorbs it like that too. Now this is where, of course, he's bashing demons, killing them and stuff, and looking around and trying to figure out like what's going on. We're gonna say about a couple of days. A couple of days, he begins to go around and he see what he needs to grab. Now this is where Deku finds one of the big demons, and we're gonna say it's a boss demon. We're gonna say it's a fat demon that shoots grenade launchers. Now as Deku goes in, he sees the demon and he starts attacking Deku. Now Deku begins to fight the demon and stuff, and this is where Deku shoots the demon in the guts, and he pretty much runs at it and grabs a chainsaw. He begins to slice the middle of its guts. Now, as the guts is flowing out, the demon begins to start screaming until Deku grabs, a grenade and put it in the guts and begins to jump away. And this is where, of course, the demon uh, blows up. Now, as the demon blows up, this is where Deku is looking around and he sees a orb. Now, as he touched the orb, this is where he starts getting more power. Now, this power is pretty much, uh, we're gonna say, pretty much a kind of a shadow step, kind of like from Doom Eternal, where you can shadow step. Now, this is where he starts shadow stepping. He's trying to figure out how to do this. And he's pretty much understanding and saying, "Oh, it's kind of like a video game. Like I can shadow step now." He's pretty much saying, "All right then." Now this is where he sees a key card and he grabs it and he pretty much, or a cell. We're gonna say a cell fusion, and he grabs it. And he pretty much put it in the teleport thing or the REM teleport, and he begins to head inside. Now as the teleporting thing is open, he pretty much goes inside and he ends up into another portal. And this is where he ends up in hell. Now, this is where he looks around and says, "This is sure damn not home." He begins to clench his fist and gets angrier and more pissed off. Now, this is where a bunch of demons are crawling out and screaming and looking at him, getting ready to attack him, and he's pretty much saying, "Well, let's get started then." He begins to pull out the rifle and aim his bullets and shoot at all the demons. Now, the demons are coming at him one by one and stuff, and he begins to shoot at demons and stuff, stumping on their head, ripping them apart and stuff. This damn right killing all of them. Now we're gonna do the time zone of hell and earth is kind of different. So if you're in hell, it's like more like centuries and stuff, but for a human, you won't age or anything. We're gonna kind of do that mechanic of you don't age, you don't age or nothing, but you still need to eat. You still need to eat, pee and shit and all that stuff, and sleep. But you don't age. So yeah. And Deku is right now 15? Yeah, 15. But the years are different. So normal time for Earth is just, going very slow. But for Hell, it's like centuries, so it's pretty much going fast and stuff. So Deku is pretty much an old man at this point. But he's 15. And he's trapped in a 16-year-old's body. So yeah, let's just do it like that. Now, we're going to say a year, and the scientists are still trying to figure out how to fix the portal and rescue people and stuff. We're gonna, and Bakugo is pretty much damn worried, trying to figure out like if his friend's still alive or not. We're gonna switch back to Deku, and Deku's pretty much killing demons and stuff, busting bullets and stuff, and he's looking at the secret research facilities and stuff, and this is where he's looking around and he sees a sword. Now this is where he grabs a sword and he tests it out, and it pretty much turns into like a lightsaber kind of sword lightsaber. He's saying, "Huh, I like this blade. I think I keep it," and put it by the side of his wrist. Now, this is where as he's going, he pretty much is looking around, and this is where he ends up in one of these realms, and he pretty much sees flying demons. Well, a flying ancient one demon. Now, the flying ancient one demon sees Deku and begins to does a loud out, yeah, not like a roar, which Deku says, "Huh, looks like this thing wants to have beef with me. I guess I'm gonna have to show it who's the damn dad, the damn boss here," and begins to charge at the giant demon with wings. Now, the giant demon with wings is pretty much flying and trying to sweep down at Deku, which Deku pretty much firing bullets at his stuff. Now, this is where Deku pretty much pulls out this giant galactic laser thing, and when I say it pack a punch, it packs a punch. Now, this is where Deku charge or shoots the laser beam and pretty much hits, well, pretty much shoots the thing in the heart and pretty much blows up its heart. Now this is where the flying demon falls down and begins to crash and makes a big crater. Now, as it's crashing now, Deku begins to go forward and he looks at the thing and hops on top of it saying, "Huh, look like I killed it. Nice." Now this is where the demon flesh begins to start to, go on to Deku, as the blood and all the muscles and stuff begins to go inside of Deku and stuff. And this is where Deku gets another ability, which is wings, which now he can fly the stuff. Now Deku realizes he can have wings that fly and stuff, saying, "Huh, look like I don't need to start running or walking around anymore. Pretty good. And he begins to, lift up his wings and start flying. Now we're gonna say another 1,000 years, and Deku is pretty much. Uh, no, we're gonna say a quarter, half of years. Deku is still killing demons and stuff, and trying to found a bunch of like fusion cells and stuff. And this is where he has a human soul, which we're gonna say human souls are quite, rare to find because they be going to different places to get tortured and stuff. Which Deku has a unique human soul. Now, as he's holding the human soul, he's pretty much, going into a tavern where demons are all at and stuff. And he's pretty much sit down and drink alcohol. And he's pretty much found a Pacific demon, which he's pretty much saying, I heard that, there's a secret facility around here that's abandoned with a fusion cores. Which the demon's saying, yeah. Well, what do you have? Because I'm not saying nothing. Or the demon say, I'm not saying shit. Which this is where Deku offers up, a human soul, which he has a couple of them, and this demon begins to say, "Oh, human soul," and begins to lick his mouth, saying, "How much? What do you want?" Which Deku says, "Well, tell me about the secret facilities at where they're all Pacific at." Which he's saying, "Well." The demon begins to say, "There's one at the temples. There's 3 at temples and 2 around here somewhere." Oh, and that's all I pretty much know. Is there anything else? Deku says, nothing else. Here you go. And gives him the human soul, which the demon says, pleasure doing business with you. And Deku begins to head out. Now, as Deku's heading out, this is where we're going to say a couple of kid demons, or, we're going to say demons have kids and stuff. This part of the plot begins to kick the ball and kick it to Deku, which Deku is wearing a whole armor suit and stuff. And he looks down and he pretty much looks at the ball. He rolls it back at the kids, which the kids saying, "Huh, ain't that the Demon Slayer, the monster Demon Slayer who slays demons?" And I heard that he slayed the great old ones and got some of their abilities, which I will tell you how many demons he slayed, including old ones, so I tell you what abilities he has. Which Deku begins to walk away. Now, as Deku's going, this is where we're gonna say he reached one of the facilities, and he's pretty much, opens the door and he has his gun. He pretty much has his shotgun out, pretty much ready to bust a demon in the mouth or anything. Now, as he's pretty much, ready to bust a demon in the mouth, he pretty much has his laser, or we're gonna say his cannon rifle by the side, his rocket by the side of his shoulder, and he pretty much has his demon eye, his demon bat eye, or pretty much his sensor to sense things, and Deku can sense it too, since you could say linked together, and the demon eye will be flying around to look around. Now, as Deku's pretty much looking around and stuff, this is where he sees the fusion core and stuff. And we're gonna say this is the 18X part, so shit's about to get spicy. This is where Succubus comes in. Now, as Succubus is coming in, she pretty much is right behind Deku, and Deku turns around, pointing a gun at the Succubus demon. Now, the Succubus demon pretty much you could say, is up, and she's pretty much saying, "Oh, a rough one you are not. You are like a rough one, you say," which she pretty much holding the gun and putting down close to her body, her naked body and stuff, which Deku begins to say, "What do you want?" Which she's pretty much saying that she wants to have some sex because it's been a while, and none of these demons can pack a punch. Which maybe you be the different one. Which Deku begins to say, "What the hell? I might as well not be a virgin and get laid if I'm gonna be stuck here." Which the Succubus begins to say, "Oh, okay, that's a little bit fast, Wrigley. I thought y'all humans would hesitate." Which Deku says, "No, I'm quite different. I'm a different type of breed." Which if y'all know, y'all know. But pretty much, Deku lays the Succubus on the bed and begins to take off his armor and have sex with her. Now, as he's having sex with her, he begins to grab on her breasts and stuff, and pretty much, going in and out, penetrating her and stuff, and the succubus is moaning and stuff. And she begins to produce milk, because we're going to say succubus has certain abilities to arouse their, victims. And he begins to suck out the milk out of the succubus. Now the succubus is moaning and stuff. This is where, Deku done nut in the sauce and nut in the succubus. Now, as he nut in the succubus, this is where she pretty much is saying that was the best sex she ever had. Until Deku says, well, I want to go for round 3. And she said, you mean round 2? Nah, we're going up to 3 rounds. Which they pretty much go up to 3 rounds. Now, if you think succubus is not pregnant, pretty much she is pregnant. Because 3 rounds, that's pretty crazy. Now, as Deku's pretty much done, he puts on his armor and stuff, and the succubus is pretty much laying in one of the beds. He pretty much, puts back on his armor and pretty much starts heading out to the other facilities. Now, this is where he's finding all the fusion cells and stuff. And he gained some abilities on the way from giants and also some unique demons and some watchers and stuff. He gained one that can turn him into camouflage. Another ability where he be immortal for, we're going to say, a couple hours. We're going to say like 1 hour. But it can be upgraded up to 2 hours. So nothing can damage him, penetrate him, or kill him. He gains another ability where he can pretty much summon a hellhound to a hellhound that can sniff out where the enemy's at and pretty much, sniff out specific things and grab it for him or kill. He can fly, like I said. He can also be like a runnable and, charge into things and go through things. Like, go through walls and stuff without, and metal and stuff without blinking an eye, which he can go through stuff like strong metal and stuff, including gold. And also he can pretty much have night vision without the suit, because he has one of those abilities. And he has more, which I will be telling later, but let's just continue the story. Now, Deku pretty much finds upgrade gear, which this upgrade gear can pretty much is like a gadget where he can now, instead of like have to carry weapons by the back of the side and carry a lot of weapons and stuff, he can now summon them at will, as he can summon a rifle, pistol, double shotgun with different ammos and stuff. All he has to do is just touch them and they appear in the system. Now, this is where Deku's, pretty much grinning and saying, look like I don't have to carry all that shit. It'd be heavy. And he begins to grab a cell at the same time. Now, he's pretty much, going and stuff, and he has enough cells, and he's thinking, maybe this is enough. And he begins to, go to the portal. Now, as he's going to the portal, this is where the demons are all at the portal. This at guard, ready for the portal to open up, and Deku begins to pull out his 2 rifles, his M1, his M16s, and begins to fire at all the demons. Now, as he's firing at all the demons and stuff, this is where he grabs one of the demons and kicks its head in and stuff. And this is where he sees another demon, and he's firing all the bullets and stuff. Now, of course, this is where we're gonna say female Lucifer, she's pretty much is hearing news of this demon slayer, or this person, and the kids call him the Doom guy, but it's really just Deku. And Lucifer, she's been trying to get him and have him as her pet, or you could say more than that, but she's pretty much saying, where is he now? And pretty much the portal, Deku has already killed the demons, and he's pretty much opening the back up the portal with the fusion cells and stuff. And he begins to pretty much throw grenades, put grenades at the side, so the portal won't have to open up again. Now, this is where, of course, as the portals is open, this is where Deku runs out, and he runs out to his Earth, and he pretty much close the damn portal, which all the scientists are looking, including a female cyborg scientist says what, and Deku pretty much punch the computer system, it pretty much breaks it. Now, the demon portal pretty much closes. Now, as it closes, pretty much Deku is saying, okay, and it's closed up. Now the grenades pretty much blows up, and the portal is, you could say, damaged. So the demons can't grab any fusion cells, and if they get smart, they can't repair it because it's like a very advanced technology. Now Deku is pretty much saying, it takes off his helmet and saying, when I say close the portal, close the damn portal. Which this is the scientist saying, who are you? Which this is where Deku says, I'm Mizuki Midoriya, and whoever was the damn scientist who made that portal that sucked everybody up, sucked half of the people up, you did a good job. Because I was at Jupiter, and I was going to portals and stuff, and I ended up in hell for I don't know how long. Which they're pretty much saying it's been about a year. It's been about not a year. It's been about like 5 months. 5 months. What are you talking about? It's been years for you. Which Deku's looking and saying, what are you talking about? I've been in there for years and stuff. Maybe centuries, which the scientists are saying, huh, the cyborg female scientist is pretty much thinking, saying, maybe hell has a different years span and stuff. But if you've been there for century years, why do you look like you're still young? Which Deku says, how the hell I'm supposed to know? You're the scientist. And he begins to this like hold his helmet and pretty much sit down and says, do y'all have anything to drink, like beer or something? Which they're saying, I don't think, which Deku punched, like smacks down on the table saying, do y'all have any alcohol or something? Which they're saying, yeah, sure. And they give him alcohol, which Deku begins to drink and pretty much get his air and stuff. And saying, now, as they're looking at Deku, they pretty much sees his eyes is much different. His eyes is red. His hair is much longer. It's green, but it's much longer. And he looks like he's been into a lot of battles. Now, as he's pretty much sitting down drinking, he's pretty much saying, so, what do y'all want to ask me? Which the scientist saying, pardon me? I know y'all want to ask me some questions like, what was hell like? What was Jupiter? Sorry about that, but let's continue. Which one of the scientists hesitated, saying, so what was like hell like? Which pretty much Deku explains, it says, well, this hell, it was much different. It had children. It was kind of like Earth, but much different, as demons was hostile. Demons also fought each other, ate each other, to gain power. Also, there were souls there, which they're saying like human souls, which Deku begins to explain. It says, yeah, it was like human souls, which souls are like worth a lot. You can pretty much get anything you want with human souls, including a whole army if you wanted to. Which I've seen a lot of demon generals been fighting other demon generals that fight for territory and land and stuff, and kids demons and all that, which the scientists are writing down saying very intriguing and stuff. Now this is where Deku pretty much gets up and says, well, I'm going to my house. Which they say, wait, are you sure? Like you look like you're not looking like, are you sure you're alright and stuff? Which Deku begins to say, listen, I'm alright, I'm good. I have my helmet. I have my strength and stuff. I'm pretty much in my prime, so I'm going. Which the scientist says, all right. But here is our phone number if you feel any type of way or anything. Which Deku says, yeah, and he begins to go with the suit. Now, one of the scientists begins to ask, say, do anyone know what suit is he wearing? Which the cyber saying, pretty much saying, well, that's the prototype X-15 suit, but we call it the Doomslayer suit, just for jokes. Because it's pretty powerful. Which the scientist saying, huh, crazy. Now, this is where his Deku's going home. This is where he pretty much knocks on the door and he shows himself, which Inko says hello, and Inko looks tired, looks like she's been crying for a couple, months, weeks. And this is where she looks up and she sees Deku. Now Deku, he's a little bit taller, and he got most of the stuff, and his hair, like I said, is long, and his hair ribbons. And he's pretty much saying, Mom, I'm home. Which this is where she begins to cry and hugs Deku and says, is it really you? Is it really you, Deku? Which Deku begins to say, yeah, it's me, Mom. Now, she begins to welcome Deku inside, and she begins to say, pretty much, say, do you need anything? Are you hungry? Which Deku says, yeah, I'm a little bit hungry. Let me just go in my room right now. Which Inko says, go in your room. Everything how I left it, and your pet bunny rabbit is still alive, and kicking. Which this is where Deku goes in his room and stuff, and as he's trying to figure out how to take off the armor pretty much has a self auto mode to appear like the takeoff itself, and it pretty much starts to unappear. Well, it begins to digitally unappear, and it only appears on his back as kind of as a spinal thing, which he pretty much says, huh, that's neat. Now how do I activate it back on? Which he figures out, and it activates back on. Now he pretty much saying, oh, okay, I just need to put on the helmet every time I take it off and on. Put it off and on. Okay. Now this is where, of course, Deku looks and he sees his pet bunny rabbit, and he begins to say, hello, it's me, and the rabbit begins to hop on Deku and stuff, and Deku is smiling, saying, I very much miss you. Now Deku is pretty much smiling stuff. This is where Inko calls downstairs, and Bakugo is pretty much runs up to Deku and hugs him and says, it's been a while. Where the hell were you? Which Deku explains the whole story to Inko and Bakugo, what happened and stuff, and he was in hell and stuff, and pretty much a lot happened. He didn't put in the details of having sex though, because every guy has their secrets. Now, as he's pretty much explaining stuff, Inko is pretty much crying, saying that she didn't know and she feel like it's all her fault, which Deku says it's not your fault. Like, it was just a malfunction, bad stuff happens. Just be glad I'm still alive and stuff and all that, which Inko says right, and Bakugo too. Now this is where Bakugo begins to says that, well, school is right now over and he's right now training for the rest of the months for the UA. What are you going to do, Deku? Which Deku pretty much says, well, he's going to relax for a while, but he might get up his feet and go to the UA and try to become a hero or something, since he's back on Earth. Which this is where Bakugo says okay, and Bakugo says, well, I'll call you later, and begins to get going. Which this is where Inko and Deku says bye. Now as Deku is pretty much talk to his mom and eating, he pretty much heads up to bed and stuff. And well, before he heads up to bed, he takes a bath and stuff, and he pretty much start heading into the bed. Now as he's getting into bed and laying down, this is where he feels a presence, and he pretty much summons a gun and points the gun at whoever's like right behind him and in the bed, and he pretty much sees the demon girl, the succubus woman. She pretty much says, you miss me? Which Deku says, how did you get here? Which she's pretty much saying, well, after the portal was closing up, I couldn't let you just separate from my grass, so I pretty much came here to this human world. Which Deku says, damn it. And now he's thinking like maybe some other demons probably came to the portal too. Now this is part 1 of What If Deku was the motherfucking Doom guy from Doom Brutal, okay? Mod. Doom Brutal mod. Or just say from motherfucking Doom guy, right? Now, if you like, leave a like, comment, do all that stuff. Now, this is gonna be one video for today. Maybe be 2 videos, I don't know, all depends. But I'm Keisha Chia. Thanks for watching, and peace out.
Looks like you lost another one.